Hi, Stitchers. This is Stitching to Connect Annie. I apologize for the light in here. I had the blinds open, and it is so bright out, and it's a beautiful Colorado day. It's the what is the date? It is Thursday, January 25th, and it's this is Stitching to Connect Annie. So I've got a little bit of a light going on here. I'm going to try. Hopefully, it won't blow it all, the colors all out. I'm not sure. But I just wanted to, this is kind of a special, um, going to be a special floss tube. It's going to be a review of the cruise that I went on. It's called, what was it called? Flosstube at Sea 2024, I think is what we called it. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. So I'm gonna share a lot about that. Not wear glasses because there's a ton of glare, but might have to do that on occasion if I have to read. But hopefully, won't be rambling too much. So I got home Monday. I'll just kind of ramble through and give you a lot of information, and then I have some fun um, goodies at the end about life. Some not fun goodies at the end about life. And if you want to know about that, you can stay tuned, but I'll give you a little bit of a heads up when I do that. So I have some pictures on my um, iPad that I'm going to try and get inserted into this. And if I don't, I will show them next time because I'm not sure how long this is going to be. So I don't want to drag it out too long. You get bored and quit watching. Again, I apologize for the light. It's not a great light situation, but it's the best I could do for where I'm at. I found a place where I could put a good pillow at my back. I just got back from PT for my back and hips, and I'm pretty sore after she kind of works me over. But I get some relief within the next day after the soreness wears off, kind of releases some muscles that I'm dealing with. But I'll put that at the end. Um, so rewind back to January 13th. It was a very cold day in Denver, just like that whole polar vortex thing that went through the country that week. Um, I had an early flight on Saturday from Denver to Fort Lauderdale, and Monday, I left here at 3:30 in the morning. I left to the house at 3:30 in the morning, and it was -5 degrees. So that's how cold it was. I was super looking forward to getting to that warm Florida weather, and I made it without any problems. At first, I thought by the time they get this plane de-iced, it's going to be frozen over again. I mean, it was snowing, but not when it's -5 degrees. It doesn't snow. Well, I mean, you don't get any depth. You don't get any large snowflakes or anything, but it was definitely snowing and making everything worse as far as ice. But I got off and I landed at about, I want to say noon, Fort Lauderdale time. It's about a 3.5, 3 and 3/4 hour flight. And it was a little cloudy and in the 70s. So it was definitely warmer than it was here. And went and got my hotel room. I stayed at the Hampton Inn, North Hampton Inn North Cruiseport Airport. Um, one, there's two of them. There's a north and a south, and I stayed at the north. Too much information. Anyway, it was a nice enough hotel. It wasn't top notch, but it was clean and the people were good. I had a very nice stay. I stayed at both ends of my trip. I got there a day before and I stayed a day after the cruise, just for the night, just so I wouldn't be super rushed. And it worked out fine. So got there, didn't do much, watched a little bit of a football game with some folks down in the lobby and went to bed and got up early, got some breakfast. They have breakfast included there and headed, and they also have a shuttle. You have to pay for it to get to you don't have to pay for it to get to the airport, but you have to pay for it to get to the cruise ship. So they hire a company that comes and picks you up and takes you to the cruise ship. And then when you get home, you call them, or home, the ship gets back, you call them and they pick you up and bring you back to the hotel. I think it was $15 each way. I'm pretty sure that's what I paid. So I went ahead and paid for that. Got on the shuttle, got to the ship. It was kind of rainy and cloudy. It wasn't a very super pretty day, but got on the ship. The ship was absolutely amazing. It was a celebrity ascent, and their first cruise on this with this ship was Thanksgiving weekend. So it was like 7-8 weeks old. It was a brand new ship, which made it all the nicer because everything was clean and pristine and not worn. And I mean, the carpets were brand. I mean, it was just like amazing. So I was super happy with the ship. Got on, very easy to get on the ship. No fuss, no muss. They let you drop off your bag. So let me think. So you check your bag when you get onto the ship, your big bag, and then you take a small bag with you that has all your essentials like medicines and all that kind of stuff to keep with you until your big bag gets to your stateroom and or cabin. I'll probably call it a cabin. I don't know. Anyway, I got my own cabin, stateroom. I got one with a window. I didn't get one with the balcony or the infinite veranda or whatever they call that. I just got one with a window because I like to be able to see out, but I didn't have to have the balcony. I've had those before and they're nice, but I knew I was good with that. So got in my room, dropped my bag off, and then went and got lunch. Did I go to the stitching room first? I can't remember exactly. My cabin was located in a great spot on the ship. It was forward. And I'll just preface this by saying I have no problems with seasickness. I grew up on boats. I grew up in the 50s in San Diego, and I was on a boat 2 or 3 times a week. And I've never been seasick. I've never been airsick. I've never had motion sickness to speak of. I think when I was pregnant, I had a little bit of that, but I never have ever been seasick. So once I get my sea legs, I'm good. I'm good. So I think I went to the stitching room. So my room, my cabin, was one level down from the stitching room, right below it, literally right below it. So I would just go down the stairs from the stitching room or come up from my cabin to the stitching room, and it was right there. It was ideal. I couldn't have asked for a better location. But once again, the ship was very well laid out. I probably could count on one hand how many times I had a long wait at an elevator. The bank of elevators just boom, boom. Everybody was kind and courteous, and there was no muss, no fuss with all the elevators. And I never really had to take an elevator to go back and forth between my area. So I would go up one floor and then walk clear down all the way down, because that's where the restaurants that we ate in were, on my floor, or I'm sorry, one floor up and then one more floor up. Those are the 4 restaurants that we ate in every night. Our group rotated through. And then the restaurants were on the other end of the ship. I was forward and they were aft. And and then if I wanted to go to the pool, I would just take the elevator up to the pool level, right around the corner from my room, and be on that level, and then just walk out. And the pool was like, the solarium came first, and then the pool. It was lovely. And then if you want to go to the big buffet, which is open like from 7 to midnight, I guess. I never was there that late. You want to go to the buffet, which is all foods, all variety. They had stir fry, they had Mexican, they had Italian, they had pastas, they had all the meat carving stations, everything. If you wanted to have any kind of food like that, and they served breakfast, in the morning. It was on the other side of the pool on that level, on that deck. So it was really, really well laid out. I would highly recommend Celebrity Ascent if you want to go on a lovely vacation and a lovely cruise. Um, the rooms were very nice. My cabin was very nice. I had ample room, plenty of room, lots of closet space. Granted, I was by myself, which was nice, but it was really very nice, very well appointed. I had a great steward. I think they call them stewards, but attendant. She was always in there, straightening. And it was so funny because my room looked like an explosion when I would leave it. I didn't care what it looked like when I got back, but she was so sweet. Anything I had on the bed or my bedclothes or whatever, she'd fold up and put in the neat little piles and everything. And I was kind of like, I just wanted to tell her, I don't care. You can just throw them on the couch. To make the bed. I don't care. But that wasn't her job. So I tipped her nicely when I left, extra. Um, so that, and then our stitching room had one whole wall of windows, so we could see coming and going the ocean. We could see our ports. We could see everything out that whole room, and it also afforded very nice lighting for stitching. If you cruised at all, there's an understanding that you can't take like extension cords and stuff. It's just not allowed. So we didn't have lighting at our tables other than any kind of halo. Is it halo? Daylight, halo, whatever those lights are that are you can recharge, and which I had one with me. I had bought one, a rechargeable one. But honestly, other than for the magnification factor, which is in the top of the light, I really didn't need it for light because those windows, I kind of stayed on that side of the room. Those windows were ample light and they had good can lights above us too. I thought the lighting was great, but I did not really stitch at night in there. I only stitched during the day. So we went in. So I went in, I think I had lunch, and then I went to the stitching room. I think it opened about 2:30 and I got on the ship at about 1 and we sailed at 3. It was a very short time of embarkation and sailing. Shortest I'd ever been on. And then we were headed for Puerto Rico, which took a day and a half of sailing. 2 days, 2.5 days of sailing to get to Puerto Rico. So we had a kind of a meet and greet in the stitching room. We said hey to people we knew and met some new people, had a little bit of a introductory time, sat and stitched for just a little bit, and then and received our swag bags, which I'll go through with you because they're pretty cool. Oh, that reminds me, I want to get my lanyard and stuff too to show you. But yeah, so that was our first day. Stitched, went to dinner. As I said, I think there were maybe 100 of us with the spouses and the friends that came. There were 70 of us stitchers. I believe there were 70 stitchers that we accommodated for in the room, and the room was set up very nicely. And because we were on the ship and they didn't guarantee overnight anything in the room, anytime you left, you had to take your stuff with you at night anyway. I kind of took my things with me when I'd leave. But there was usually one of the 3 sponsors who were Jean Farish, Jan Hicks, and Michelle Garrett, who is Michelle Bendy Stitch, Jean, and Jan Hicks Designs. I don't know what Jean's company name is. Maybe it's Jean Farish. Anyway, those were the three gals that headed everything up. And of course, I was very grateful because I had spent some time with Michelle. I consider her a friend, and now I consider her a very close friend because we had just the best time stitching and sailing and eating together and touring together. And she helped me buy this ring, which was an extravagant buy, but I never bought anything on a ship before. It's a beautiful, it really is blown out. It's really pretty. It's a beautiful diamond and emerald ring. And she was very encouraging and said, I think you need to get that. Looks a little bit better if I do it from here. It's a really pretty emerald, and it has a diamond halo around it. My birthstone is emerald. So I was very happy to do that, excited to do that. And Michelle was alongside of me when I did that. So, hey, Michelle, if you're watching, Michelle Bendy Stitch. But we had the best time together. And then I made some other really nice friends. I met Veda. She is, I believe, from Virginia, I want to say. I won't remember where everybody's from, but she was very sweet. Cindy, I remember. I can't remember last names. Anyway, I met probably 10. Kim, I met Kim, who I really like. Kim Smith, really liked her. I liked everybody I met. I can't say, but I spent more time with Kim and Michelle and her gang than. Oh, and Patty. Patty's amazing. Patty, I think it's her last name's Break. Anyway, she's 4 boys and an NL girl, and she does Brennan Nettle. Is it Nettle or Needle? I don't remember. I forgot to ask her. She lives in Newfoundland, Labrador / Labrador, and she was delightful. And I spent a lot of time with Patty. We did tours together, and we did meals together, and we stitched together, and so I made some really nice new stitching friends on this cruise. I'm very excited about. I even told Patty had some lovely pictures of where she lives. You can look out on I think it's a lake. I'm not sure it's the ocean, but I don't remember. But I told her I may end up on your doorstep someday because I've never been to Newfoundland, and I think it looks gorgeous up there. So anyway, it was fun. So it's always fun to make new friends, but everybody, they're all your peeps. They all have similar interests and desires, and just it's just fun to go on a retreat. And this was a big time retreat. So the other nice thing about it was we sailed for 2.5 days on one end and 2.5 days on the other end, and the 3 days in the middle is when we toured. So we left Sunday, Monday, Tuesday around 3 o'clock. We docked in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I didn't happen to get off the ship that day. My back and my hips were really bothering me, and it was going to leave at 10:30 that night, and I just didn't think I had. I didn't get off. I probably should have, but I didn't. But it was fine. I went and had dinner. I think I slept. I think I took a long nap that afternoon, and then I went and had dinner at the buffet, which was fine. That was fine. And then got up Wednesday morning because we had an early excursion that I believe Patty had set up through the ship, and we had a beach day. We had a half a day on a beach. We went in the water, we swam, we waded, we treaded water, we sat on the beach, we had drinks, we had umbrellas. It was very, very nice, and we were there. We left early. We left at 8:30 that morning, so I had gotten up early, got ready, met the gals, went on the tour, and that was super fun. Then had the rest of the day. I came back and I went to the pool and I did some things, stitching, a little bit of stitching in my room, just relaxed day. Then the next day we left, and that was in Tortola. So we sailed from San Juan to Tortola, and then from Tortola to St. Kitts Nevis. And Jean Farish had set up a special excursion for us to all go, and we broke up into 3 groups. And my group went at 1 o'clock, and I went with I went with Jan Hicks. So I got to visit and get to know Jan a little better. And I think I sat across from her and stitched with her one day because I was asking her about her adventures because they traveled the United States, and she's a very interesting person. And we went and saw how batik was made. So next time on my next Flosstube, I'll show you the piece I made. So we each got to do a little piece. What I had, and then I had to bring it home in a little Ziploc bag that I have to boil it. I have to read the directions, but I think I have to boil it for like half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour to get all the wax out of it because it's the wax makes the design. And oh, that's the other thing I don't have with me. I'm definitely going to have to show you on my next YouTube some of my, or Flosstube, some of my purchases. But they're in my unpacked suitcase, my huge suitcase, which is upstairs. I got my little one unpacked, but anyway, saw how batik was made a little piece for ourselves, put it in a baggie, and then had time to shop in the gift shop. I got a cute tank top, batik tank top, and a journal, which was really pretty with batik on it too. And I'll show you that next time because it's, like I said, packed still. Then what? Sorry, I keep leaning back. My back hurts. Then what? Came back to the ship, had a leisurely evening, and then set sail that night to come back to Fort Lauderdale. So then we sailed all day Friday, all day Saturday, and got in early Sunday morning back to Fort Lauderdale. And that was how we did it. That's what we did. And so the days that we were sailing were very cool because each of the gals, each of the three, Michelle, Jan, and Jean, each taught a class and had all the patterns and accoutrement for each of their class projects. And so those 3 days was nice because from 10 to 12, they would teach a class. And then we had either the rest of the day to stitch or we had the rest of the day to do things on the ship while we were sailing. Like I would go to the pool or the solarium, spend time in the water, and get in my exercise time or get drinks or meals or whatever we wanted to do. So it was very well scheduled and planned, and just the best of all worlds because we had all the ship things that we could do. The stitching rooms were open from like 7 to 11 at night, I think is what they were. Stitching room was open. So at any point in time, I think I went in there a couple of times when there was no one there. But at any point in time, there were a few stitchers in there stitching, or during our classes, or whenever we were going to have a special like game time or prize time or whatever, then we'd be in the room together. So yeah, it was delightful. If you have a chance to cruise with Jean Farish, do it because she runs a great program and took care of all our needs, and just it was ideal. If we had any issues with anything, we'd let her know and she would take care of it like that. And I had no issues. A couple of gals did, but I was good the whole time. I had no problems. I was just a happy clam. And of course they had theater, they had performances. I went to one. It was a Beatles group. They did Beatles songs for like 45 minutes. It was great. They did a great job. It was fantastic. It was in the big theater. And I went to another one and I can't remember what it was. I don't remember. It was good. It was good because all their venues were excellent. So I have spoken for 24 minutes and not showed you a single stitching project. So I will show you my swag bag. So we got a swag bag called Flosstube at Sea. I have all my stuff from the cruise in this little bag here, plus a few other goodies that I'll share or not share this time. So the first day we got our pattern from the first day of, not the first day of sailing, but the second day of sailing. Jean Farish designed this for us. This is going to blow out. On this side. So it's called the Egret and the Dolphin. egret, dolphin. It's lovely, lovely colors. It says on it, I searched the constellations for the tiny grains, the tiny grains of sand, where the sand of the ocean meets the salty piece of land. That's Jimmy Buffett. So, yeah, if you're a parrot head, which is a Jimmy Buffett fan, this is cool. And then it has, you can put your name, and then it says Flosstube at Sea, San Juan, St. Kitts, Nevis, Tortola. Very nicely charted remembrance of our trip. And I got started on it. Didn't get terribly far, but I got a corner done. That's how far I got. So I am sorry, this light just super sexy. If I turn it off, let me turn it off real quick here. It's a little dark. Sorry. See, it's so dark. But oh, well, that shows up a lot better. Maybe we'll go with this. I wasn't liking the other at all. So that's the pattern. So I have done this much. Look at how bright, how vibrant those colors are. So I've done this upper corner above the dolphin. That's where I started. I started upper left corner. Gave us all the threads, and they're Cosmo threads. I had never stitched. I can find everything here. Oh, we got this little bag. Jana Hicks Creates, Bendy Stitch, Jean Farish Needleworks. Says Flosstube at Sea on the other side. I put all my flosses in here. So Jean gave us these. Jean gave us these floss drops that we could put all the beautiful threads. Look at these colors. Aren't they fabulous? I love them. That's part of the reason I did that corner, was I just wanted to use all the colors. And these are Cosmo threads, which I had never used before. To be honest with you, I think I prefer DMC, but the colors are fabulous. They are amazing, good, great colors. So yeah, I think filming with that less light is going to do us better. I know I look really dark, but the colors are showing up much better. So that was our first project. We got that. We got our little bag. We got our swag bag. I'll just show you all the other stuff I got here. What else we get? Oh, we got these funny. So these are for. Oh, we got a needle minder. A couple of needle minders. Oh, and as always, different people did different little gifties. I did my normal card with Sierra on it and a charm. And these pincher things. So if you're stitching and you want to eat some Cheetos or something that's going to make a mess on your fingers, use this and go. Some people do. I don't know. Not something I would necessarily do. Let's see what else. We got a count twice and stitch once little ruler. Someone, who was it? Oh, Paula and Moose Shattuck, who live in Fort Collins, Colorado, just up the road from me, a couple hours up the road from me, handed out these little floss drops, and he looks like that. And then she dresses up like that for Christmas. And so he's like a Santa. And so I thought that was really a sweet gesture. And there's, I think, 3 or 4 under these. I think these, yeah. So that was sweet, a little gifty. I think in our swag bag we got, what this is. Oh, this is hand-dyed silk. It's called Mystery. And I don't know what brand it is. Somebody, I don't know if she told us what brand it was. Anyway, it's a very pretty blue. to use on any or all. One gal the last day gave us these, which are very cool Ort containers. I've wanted one of these and I never got one before. And they're made, I'm not sure how they're made, but they're very cool because you can just fill them up, dump them out, pop them down, and you got your Ort container with you on different trips. This is a beautiful counting pin, and I don't have a name on it. I should have asked or something, written it down. One of the ladies, one of the stitchers gave us this. Thought it was really pretty. Oh, we got another little tote bag, which actually I probably will never use, but maybe I will put it in my grocery bags. And it says, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is one of, so it's Stitcher's Escapes is the name of Jean Farish's cruise company that she uses. I escaped to stitch and cruise. How cool is that? I hadn't even really looked at that, but it's kind of nice, and it has a little luggage tag kind of thing. I don't know if it snaps, so it has a little place to put a little compartment of something in that compartment. So maybe I will use that. Kind of a handy little, it's very, very, very lightweight. So we got that bag. Oh, and then it's got bent, and I'm going to have to steam it out because it is lovely, lovely. And it was attached to a needle minder, which oh, here it is. Okay, I think it was this needle minder. Everything is gobbledygook together here. So we got this, everything's stuck together magnet-wise. We go. So this says Humdinger. I gotta look at this. But South Dakota, Betty's Quiltery, Rapid City. So I don't know why all of that, but I think this came with this. I'm pretty sure it did. Anyway, it's a beautiful bookmark. It's Americana. I don't know how she did that. It's amazing. But that was really pretty. And I honestly don't know who it was that gave us that. Oh, looks like we got an extra magnet. I don't know if that stuck to that. Oh, that goes with this one. Never mind. Does it? I don't know. Magnets stick together, and I don't know which magnet goes with which. Sometimes. I think this goes with this. Okay, and this says, oh, all I want to do is stitch and watch Flosstube, which was one of the cute things they talked about while we were stitching. So put that on my project. What else? Oh, another thing we got, which I've been wanting. It's called the Unstitcher. It's a little tiny, it really is just a seam ripper. It's what it is. But it's very small. Carefully clip the top leg of the stitch that you want to remove with thread scissors. Use the needle tip of the Unstitcher to pull out the stitch. Oh, I guess it just has a needle. It's not a it's not a thread. Oh, what do you call them? It's left me. Sorry, folks. Anyway, it wasn't what I said it was earlier. It just has a needle on the end of it, but it looks handy dandy, and definitely put it in my stuff. I haven't used it yet. We got a little corner gauge, which is always fun. A Flosstube at Sea, Stitcher's Escape. I like to have these, and I like to keep these in all my project bags, so I have a number of those. What else? Oh, we got this cool, and I never did, and I should have put it on my door. So when you cruise, your doors and your walls are steel or metal, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, they gave us this, which says, all I want to do is stitch, watch Flosstube, and cruise. And I'll probably put it on my refrigerator. It's a magnet. It's magnetized. So people were putting that on their doors to their cabins, And every time I just completely forgot I had it. I didn't do it. But some people decorated their doors really cute. It was fun. So it says, decorate your door with a Stitcher's Escapes cruise magnet. It's not only fun, but will help you locate your cabin more easily. And of course, we hope you find a place for it when you get back home. So it's going on my fridge, I think, on the edge and into my crib. Okay. So that's everything I believe we got in our swag bag, which was considerable. So like I said, it's a clear plastic with a zipper. It was a nice bag. It was nice to have that you could put all your projects that we got in. And then the second day, of that's the egret and the dolphin. What am I doing here? Oh, okay. So what is the pattern? I'm sorry, I'm all bamboozled here. I don't know where that other pattern is. I have another pattern. I'm not sure what I did with it. It's got to be here somewhere. So I showed you the egret and the dolphin, and then it's the egret and the dolphin. What did I do? Oh, I know. I put it in here. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So, somewhere. Wow. I thought it was all together and I could show you. Here it is. Here it is. I think. I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'm going to go through these and I'll run across it. Oh, here it is. I couldn't see it for looking at it. Glary, but let's see if I get the glare. I'm going to take it out. So then Jan Hicks designed this for us, which is lovely. So one of the sailing days, she taught this, and what she did. Turn this light on for a minute. Wow, it's so bright, but you can see the pattern a little better. It's called Follow the Sunshine or Follow the Sea. She charted it both ways for us. It's lovely. It's really lovely. And she gave us these floss drops, and these are the colors. And they are kind of floss. Oh, they're Weeks Dye Works floss. So we got some very lovely Weeks Dye Works flosses for that project. And I barely started it, which is where. I'm telling you, folks, I haven't done this in a couple weeks, and it's showing because I am so not together here. Here it is. So we got this fabric, and I just started it. I started it right in the middle. Sorry, this light is so blindingly bright and really doesn't do my skin any good. Okay, just barely started it. There's some variegation to it. And so Jean taught us some stitches, some specialty stitches. That's what I want to call them. Do I have that sheet handy? I do. So Jean gave us this and taught us some specialty stitches. I just listened. I didn't try them, but I know how to do them. And this is very, very good instructions too. And you could substitute some of these like for the border and stuff on that dolphin and egret pattern. So that's what she spent her 10 to 12 or her 2-hour slot teaching us. And then Jan was great because she taught us what the difference was. And I kind of pretty much knew this, but it's always good to hear, and there's always tips and tricks you learn about stitching with variegated thread. And Weeks Dye Works is a variegated thread, as is Cottage Gardens, and there's a lot of different variegated threads, overdyed threads. Some are more variegated than others. These don't look very variegated, but they are somewhat, and they're very beautiful for that pattern she gave us. So that was Jan's and Jean's projects. And then when Michelle Bendy, I just call her Michelle Bendy. Her name is Michelle Garrett, I think is her last name, but I call her Michelle Bendy. When she did her piece, and she did hers with talking about journaling. So if you have a little journal, then you can like do special things with it. And I don't have it. It's packed upstairs, I believe. Yes, it is. But she gave us a fun pattern. Several patterns. We got this pattern, which is a bendy stitch pattern that she designed. And it says Thalassophile on it, which is a lover of the sea. She took Greek and Latin, or just Latin maybe. Anyway, as majors in her undergrad. And she said, I've always wanted to use it, and I decided to use it on this. So she designed that. And then it says, around the edge, it says something. Someone who loves the sea and the ocean, I believe it says. Yeah, someone who loves the sea and the ocean. And she gave us, as part of our package, this gorgeous fabric, which is hand-dyed fabrics by Miss Slate Pages, and mine's 16 count Aida, and it's called Excursion. And we got a fat eighth, and I didn't start anything on it, but it is beautiful. And when I show you the other little patterns, I can probably get 2 or 3 or maybe 4, at least 2 on this. It's a really beautiful blue. Really beautiful blue. I love it. So the Thalassophile, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Thalassophile, lover of the sea, pattern was hers. Then Miss Slate Pages designed this. It's called Let's Sail Away, which is very, very pretty and apropos. Then Jan Hicks gave us this Let's Sail Away, which I won't show too much because it's a chart. And then we got a Darling and Whimsy Quirky Quaker Stingray. And then a Count Twice Stitch Once. So all of those patterns we got. And then we got, let me show you this. This is amazing. We got this cool floss drop holder thingy. I don't know what you call it. Look, it's a cruise ship, and it says on it, Flosstube at Sea 2024. Is that cute or what? And then we got all these threads for those patterns that we can use on those patterns. This one's an almond M&M silk that is lovely. And what kind of threads were these? I think they're also Cosmo. I'm sure they're Cosmo because Michelle had already, bless her heart, had already cut all of these for us, which was a big, big job. I've talked for 43 minutes. My goodness. So all of that was super fun. I'm going to save this for next time. I want to kind of wrap this up. And that was all our swag and all our goodies and all the things that we did on our cruise. It was amazing. Then the only outside stitching I did was I worked on this. So this is, I can find it now in all this mess. These are cottage garden threads. I don't know where my pattern went. It's beside me somewhere. I don't know where. It's the, oh, here it is. Wild at Heart pattern. Hearts for Pam. She designed this. It was designed for her charity event to help her pay for her heart procedure. It's called Pixel Pixie. Cross Stitch designed it. I absolutely love it. I don't know the name of the gal, and Michelle told me she knows her, and I want to definitely reach out to her and thank her for this design. This design means a lot to me. This is how far I am. It's really a fun stitch. Those are cottage garden threads. And so I'll tell you why it means so much to me. Okay, this is a portion of life part. If you're not interested in seeing any more stitching or hearing any more about the cruise or anything, I'll see you next time on my regular Flosstube, which will probably be next week. I just wanted to get this done and in the books. And now I'll talk about some life. So this is, as Michelle Bendy would say, this is the life portion of it. So I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me. Like, comment, all the good things. Let me know. Reach out to me. I'd be happy to comment back with any comments you have or questions you have. So this is part of life that's difficult, and that's death. 2 days before I went on my cruise, I lost a very dear neighbor, friend that I had known for over 8 years, or about 8 years. To an unexpected medical procedure error. It's still hard to talk about. Penny, I had known her since we moved here to our spot now that I live in. A tiny little thing, and the last person in the world that you would ever believe that would have heart disease. Had gone into the hospital to have 3 stents. She had 9% blockage in 3 of her main heart arteries, and they were going to put in stents. She's 68. She was 68. She was also diabetic, so she exercised. She took care of herself. She ate well. She did all the things that you should do as a diabetic patient. She was in great shape. She went in on a Tuesday to have the stents put in. When they got in there, they realized they couldn't do it with stents. They had to do a triple bypass, where they take grafts and replace the arteries. I think that's his terminology. If I'm not being correct in my terminology, I apologize. Thursday, so Tuesday that was done, and then so she was in the hospital. And Thursday they took her in and they did a triple bypass. They said it went really well. She did really well. She was on Monday of the following Thursday happened her second surgery, the triple bypass. She was up walking on Monday. They were, sorry, this is so hard for me to talk about. They were getting her ready to go home, whether it was that day or the next day. She was up walking. She was doing well. She'd been in the hospital since the prior Tuesday, but she was on her, she'd been in ICU until Saturday, maybe Sunday. She was in her own room, and so on Monday they were getting her ready to start getting her ready to go home. And I don't know if she's going to go home that day or the next day. And apparently when you do a triple bypass of some variety, they put wires in your chest because you could maybe need a pacemaker. I don't know the extreme details of it, but I know the wires will cause the problem. They were taking, and she was in her hospital room, not even in an OR or anything. They were taking the wires out of her, and I think it was just a nurse, or it was, I don't even know if it was a doctor. The gal that was there and more present with her throughout it said it was a nurse. Took a wire out, and somehow it punctured one of her new arteries, and she started bleeding and her heart stopped. And they were doing compressions all the way down to the OR to repair her. And they repaired her, and they had to sedate her heavily, and she never woke up. She never woke up. And they tested her for brain activity on Wednesday night, and there was none. And they took her off life support on Thursday. We had book club on Thursday, which is Penny was part of and kind of spearheaded, and we were all in such shock. Thursday night, she passed while we were in book club. It was so heartbreaking. Her son did get to be with her for that Good Sunday and part of Monday before it happened, before the tragedy happened. And I was working on this for Penny because I knew she was having the stents put in. And Penny was also a major fashionista. And this has like herringbone and plaids and all the fun things, and a zipper and a leopard print. And it just screamed Penny. I was just enjoying working on it. So I had gotten partly this part, about that much of it done when Thursday happened. So I took it with me on my trip, and I worked, and I got part of this blue part done with the herringbone in it. And then since I got home, I've done this part and then started this darker red. I am changing it up a little bit. It was called for was that lighter red. I just wanted the deeper red. I just thought it meant a lot more as a heart. So I'm doing this in Penny's honor. And this is also fresh for me too, because I thought I had a bad heart back in October, November, this parted, until they figured it all out. And now I know I have a very, very good heart for a 72-year-old. Very little plaque, very little arthrosclerosis. Arthrosclerosis is the heart disease where your walls are so thick that they can't go in a roto-rooter and put stents in. They have to actually take those parts out and put the grafts in. And that's what Penny had. She had heart disease. And I guess it was hereditary because she didn't know about it. She didn't know about it until she started having, like, she was tired, and I didn't know any of this. So the last time I saw her was the Thursday before I left, the night before I left to go to DC for Christmas. That was the last time I saw her. They're going to have a memorial service. Her son and his wife and baby, not baby, but he's 6 years old, who loved his Alma, lived in Amsterdam, and he was here, and then he went home, and he's getting his wife and son, and they're coming back for the memorial service, which since I've gotten back Monday, I haven't talked to anybody about when that's going to be yet. I don't know if there's a date. I'll find that out probably this weekend or sometime next week. So I went with a very, very heavy heart to start my cruise. The cruise was what I needed, so much to heal a little. I come home to it, though. It's still fresh. But you go on. That's part of life. So sorry to be so heavy, but that's what we share as our life and our life experiences. I have a kitty that's coming around. Are you coming over here, girl? You gonna come over here? She's thinking about it. Come here. Come here. Come here, kitty cat. Penny had two beautiful cats that Robert and I took care of when they would travel. And she took care of my Sierra. There's Sarah. There's Sierra. Hey. Hey. She took care of my Sierra for me when we would travel. And we just had some of the best times together as friends and neighbors. Big hole in my life. Big shock. I haven't had a shock like that of a death in my life or family since my daddy passed a number of years ago. How did you get it to lighten up so much? Is it because you're a black kitty? Is that? She brings me so much joy. How did you get it to lighten up? It's because you. It's focusing on your blackness. Yes. You're my girl. This is Sierra, up close and personal. Wanna come over here so they can see all your beauty? No, I'm glad she stopped by. Anyway, but then there's some very, very good news. My grandbaby is going to be a granddaughter that's coming in July. Let's come over here and let's show us all your prettiness. Look at that pretty face. This is Miss Sierra, who ate the needle and thread over a year and a half ago and is fine. Oh, she's my baby. She misses me terribly when I'm gone, as do all our pets. The cats, I mean, she's like Velcro cat right now. Yeah, look at that face. Look at that pretty face. Yes. She's purring away. So I've been on an hour, and this has been a really fun video to share my cruise experiences, a sad video to share my dear friend's passing, Penny. I will continue to work on her heart, which she had a big one. Somebody said give it to her husband, because I was going to give it to Penny because she was going to go through that procedure of stents, I thought, and then I found out she was going to have triple bypass, open heart surgery, and thought, oh well, Penny will be good. She'll make it through fine. This will be great. I'm just going to keep working on this. And someone said to give it to her husband, but I think I'm keeping it. I think I'm putting her date of her life, her name and her date of life on it, and just remember Penny. So this is Stitching to Connect Annie. Bye for now. Enjoy your stitching. Enjoy your connecting. And I will see you in a week's time. Bye.